What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Hot Take Tuesday. This is the first installment of the 4th season. Super excited to get you guys involved once again. One of my favorite things to do on this channel might be my favorite thing is Hot Take Tuesday. Super excited to get it back, so let's go. Let's dive right into it. So the first take we have is from SilverSabs. His hot take is A.J. Brown bounces back with 1,500 receiving yards. A.J. Brown is very, very capable of 1,500 receiving yards, and we've known that. We've seen it happen. He's capable of 1,500 receiving yards, 15-plus touchdowns. He's that kind of receiver. He's dominant. But the issue with him getting 1,500 receiving yards is that there's a lot of volume in that offense. You have Devontae Smith. You have Dallas Goedert. You have Saquon coming out of the backfield. I mean, there's so many weapons that come out of that backfield that, you know, in the team in general, it's very difficult to see A.J. Brown getting 1,500 yards. And it's not only because of that. Another reason is the Eagles only pass if they have to. And it's not often the Eagles fall behind in a game. So I don't see that happening a lot this year. But that's why I think it's going to be even that much more difficult for him to reach this kind of a number this season, because it's not that he even needs a bounce back. It's just that the way the Eagles like to play, it's the way the Eagles like to go about their business. They like to run the football. With Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, why would you not run the football 40 plus times a game? They're going to do that. So that alone takes away from a lot of potential touches, from a lot of potential in terms of yardage, touchdowns, or any of that. So, and Jalen Hurts is a damn good quarterback. He has his ups, he has his downs. But A.J. Brown reaching 1,500 yards, I'm going to go warm. It's not because he can't. It's not because he's not capable of doing so. It's just that there's so much volume in the offense, like I said, with Barkley running the football, with Jalen Hurts even running the football, and that takes a lot of time off the clock. And once the Eagles get up, I mean, they'll put their backups in sooner or later. You know, the Eagles will probably get a big lead in some of these games, and, you know, their second stringers might be in by the fourth quarter, so that's a whole nother couple quarters there that he's going to miss. Will he stay fully healthy? We'll see. But, and he probably will. A.J. Brown doesn't have a big history of injuries, but I don't see A.J. Brown eclipsing 1,500 yards because of the reasons I explained. Don't forget the other pass-catching options in Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, and they have a couple of guys after that can make a couple plays here and there as well. So A.J. Brown getting 1,500 receiving yards. I am going to go warm. And if you don't know, the scale for Hot Take Tuesday goes icy, cold, cool, warm. Wait, no, I'm screwing it up. It's... Hold on. It's icy, cold, cool, warm, and hot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got it. We're cool then. We're done. Wait, no, I'm missing one. No, I'm not. Okay. We're just going to go warm. Keep it at that. All right. Next hot take is from Red. He says that A.D. Mitchell will keep showing flashes but won't produce until Alec Pierce leaves. So, who even says Alec Pierce is going to be leaving? I don't think Alec Pierce leaves. You can't let Alec Pierce walk. Now that you're finally going to have a quarterback that's, you know, is going to be here for a couple of years, Alec Pierce, I think, is maybe our second best receiver. I think Downs is our best. Pierce is our second best. And I'm still going to stick with Pittman being our third best, because I really think Downs and Pierce have a higher ceiling, have a higher upside than Pittman. So if anything, I would rather keep Downs and Pierce and then let Pittman go and let A.D. Mitchell step up. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, something has to give. Something has to happen. Maybe you just re-sign Pierce as well, and just take all that money and let all that money go, and then you let Pittman go, and then you pay Downs instead of Pittman. I could see that. But nonetheless, all of these receivers are really good. It's such a good problem the Colts have right now with this receiving room that we haven't had in such a long time. I mean, you have three receivers that are capable of being. I mean, we don't really know if Downs is. I do believe that Downs is capable of being a number one by himself on any other team. Pittman, when he's had the chance to prove that he's the number one, to prove that he's a feature receiver, he has not been able to prove it. So I don't know if Pittman could. Now, you could go back to the quarterback situation and say the quarterback situation hasn't been good. It's been less than ideal, to say the least. But, it's still, you see Alec Pierce and you see Downs succeeding, even though they haven't had a 1,000-yard receiving season like Pittman has had a time or two. But Pittman's ceiling is much lower. So I'd rather him go someplace else and keep A.D. Mitchell and Pierce and Downs. But you can't keep everyone. It's just how the NFL is. It's just how the league goes. You can't keep every good player you have. There's going to be turnover every year. But I say you can't let Pierce go. I think Pierce is such a good deep threat. It's such an incredible deep threat that you cannot let him go somewhere else. You cannot let him go for free. At least Ballard isn't a big franchise tag guy. He doesn't do any of that stuff. But if you could tag him and then trade him, let him go somewhere he wants. Even though he gets to pick where he goes, technically in free agency, I'd say you have to get something out of him, especially if he has a season like he did last year, because, I think he's one of the better deep threats in the NFL. He has the highest yards per catch, average per reception, and it's a pretty big margin as well. And as we just saw versus the Dolphins, you saw what he just did. And, like I was saying, I'm not sure if I do think Downs can be number one by himself. Pierce, he hasn't had that opportunity, but he has played really well, even with Pittman and Downs in the slot. In the quarterback situation not being as ideal. And the amount of separation he did get last year does make me think that he can absolutely be a number one on his own. But it's just, we have three receivers that are so capable. Then you have A.D. Mitchell, who I think has a very, very high ceiling as well. It's just, you can't give everyone the playing time. And then on top of that, the Colts like to run the football. And now they have Tyler Warren, who just proved to be absolutely incredible at the debut. So it's just absolutely incredible what the Colts have done with their receiving room, with the skill position players. It's got to be one of their stronger rooms, in the NFL in skill position. I'm not kidding. The Colts have done such a good job, and Chris Ballard has done that good of a job. I'm not just saying because I'm a Colts fan, but it's the truth. If you've known anything about me or watched me the last couple of years, I've been one of the Colts' biggest critics. I've been very down, very unhappy with a lot of things that they have done. But you look at this room now, you look at this team now, and it's a little bit different of a story. I wasn't patient enough, but I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't even know if I could put a warm or a hot take on this one, because A.D. Mitchell is going to keep showing flashes, and I think he's going to be a really good receiver, and I think he will produce even if Pierce is here. We may get an injury or two, but I don't think I could actually give this one like a rating. I could talk about it, but I don't think I could actually give this one a rating, because it's just, if I really had to, really, really, really have to, so he's saying Pierce leaves, and then once Pierce leaves, AD is, basically steps up and is just as good, if not better. I'm going to go hot, because I don't think Alec Pierce leaves. Chris Ballard and co., this resume has proven that they will re-sign their superstars. They will re-sign their guys. There's been exceptions. There's been players here and there they've let go, but there have been good reasons to let those players go. So I'm going to go hot. Not because A.D. Mitchell isn't capable of producing and stepping up. It's because I don't think Pierce leaves. That's my take. All right. Gold 4307. Daniel Jones wins Comeback Player of the Year. Daniel Jones is currently 5th in Comeback Player of the Year odds. And, hold on one second. Let me pull it up. I want to make sure I have it all right. BetMGM has him at 5th. Oh, wait, no. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5th. The only two other players I could see Daniel Jones really going up against here in this Comeback Player of the Year race is Dak Prescott and Christian McCaffrey. Trevor Lawrence is ahead of him, and everyone else behind him. You have J.J. McCarthy. I don't think so. Nick Chubb. I don't think so. Crosby, probably not. Tua, we just saw this season that he had. Debo, Stephon. You have Cooper Kupp. Brandon Ayuk, but Ayuk isn't going to even. No. So Darren Waller's on there. I'm shocked that he's on there, but yeah, the real competition Daniel Jones has in this race for comeback player of the year is Dak Prescott, Christian McCaffrey, and maybe if Trevor Lawrence has a good season, he's in there too. But, Daniel Jones has proven all the haters wrong already, and I've told you, and I've been told by a couple of my friends, it's just that once I went back and rewatched every single game of Daniel Jones, before I did that, I'm like, okay, let's bring in Daniel Jones and let's see what he's got. Literally a week later, the Colts signed Daniel Jones, and then I say, okay, I'm going to do some legit homework on this guy, and I am going to get my own feeling and my own idea for what Daniel Jones is. Like, I've rewatched every game in the NFL the last couple of years. I've seen Daniel Jones play. I haven't really went back and, sometimes when I'm rewatching everything, I'm not super, super detailed. I'm just trying to get a good idea of what's going on in the game, what team is good here and there. But I went back and I rewatched every single game Daniel Jones played with the Giants, a little bit with the Vikings, a little bit, some preseason, a little bit of college. Daniel Jones is a dog. Daniel Jones is a damn good quarterback. I told you guys that all offseason. I told you guys that since the Colts since the Colts signed him. I don't even know if I made a video before he was signed, but I wish I had if I didn't. I don't think I did because literally a week later I was making posts, sign Daniel Jones. He would beat out AR, and even if he didn't beat out AR in this insane world, it would at least push AR to be better and give him a good competition. But Jones ends up winning as I expected him to, and from the games that I watched, he had almost no help. But from what I've seen, going back rewatching every game and really being as detailed as possible and really just breaking down everything, Daniel Jones is a very capable quarterback. I'm not saying Jones is top 5. I'm not saying he's going to be top 5 or he's going to be one of these crazy dynamic quarterbacks or, anything spectacular, but he is more than enough. He is a damn good quarterback. He can run the Shane Steichen system perfectly. He's a perfect fit. It's a match made in heaven. And then you look at his receivers. You look at the skill position group, as we just talked about not too long ago. You have a great problem. Pittman, Pierce, Downs, Tyler Warren. You have Jonathan Taylor coming on the backfield and Jonathan Taylor running. DJ Giddens you have. Tyler Goodson with an amazing training camp. You had Molly Cox had a nice catch. Drew Ogletree. The list goes. And the offensive line showed up so much better in week 1 than I thought it would too. But damn. Daniel Jones has an amazing supporting cast, and we saw how good he was yesterday when he had a solid team around him. Good skill position players. An offensive line that could give him more than a second and, more than 2 seconds to throw or a second and a half to throw. He was practically kept clean. That jersey was almost spotless at the end of that game. You wouldn't know that he played a football game. That's how good that offensive line played. And with Ryan Kelly and Will Fries leaving, I didn't know if Tanner Bortolini and Gronkowski were going to step in and be as good as they were week 1, especially versus a really strong Dolphins defensive line, front 7. The rest of the Dolphins, not too much, but the Colts offensive line pretty much did whatever they want. That Dolphins defense line was tired out and done by the beginning of the second quarter. So, where am I going with this? How am I going to rate this one? Is this take out there? Is it crazy? No way? Or is it okay? I can see this. This is possible. And it's an okay. I could see this. This is freaking possible. And I'm going to go cold. No, I'm going to go cool because I think Dak Prescott is also very underappreciated. Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. He's top 10-ish. No, he is a top 10 type of talent quarterback. He had a phenomenal game against Philly. So if he played that good against Philly, you look at the weapons he's got in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, Ferguson. And they hit home in the draft. They were so good in the draft. Dak Prescott's going to be a tough opponent for Daniel Jones in this race. And Christian McCaffrey will as well. But the Niners are so beat up, and I know McCaffrey, but they also did trade for Brian Robinson, so they want to be giving him some time. But I think Christian McCaffrey gives a good run for his own money as well in terms of winning comeback player of the year. So I'm gonna go warm. Just because of the other guys that are in the race. There are some really good football players in this race. But I'd say Daniel Jones winning, it's very possible. And a lot of people told me that this is something that I'm absolutely crazy. I'm delusional. It's not happening. Well, here we are. I did the work and you didn't. So let's go. Bring it. I'm ready. So this take from Gold4307. I was excited when I saw this one pop up because I was excited just to talk about this. I was excited to go through this and break this down a little bit. And very possible that Daniel Jones wins comeback player of the year. Dak Prescott and Christian McCaffrey are his biggest opponents. Trevor Lawrence can maybe give a little shove in that race. But let's move on. Head of the table. Mike McDaniels is the first head coach to be fired. Absolutely. I agree with this 100%. I do not doubt that he will be the first head coach fired. It's the issue is he is not a leader. He shows up to games and he coaches in sweatpants, in a hoodie. He's not like dressing apologize. He's not dressing like he's coming out to lead a group of men to win a football game, to lead a group of men that are making millions and millions of dollars. I don't think Tua is the biggest problem over there in Miami. I don't know if he's the answer now. That was a really bad game. I've been by Tua's side. I've been a big Tua fan, but after that game, it's hard to be on his side. But you also take a step back and look at the rest of the team. It's really bad. I mean, we saw how good Daniel Jones looked yesterday, or week one with the Colts. When you give a player a really good surrounding, a really good cast that's capable, they're going to make it work. They're going to do a pretty good job. And I feel like Tua is maybe the same thing. Maybe Tua cannot carry a football team. He's not one of those quarterbacks that can carry a football team, but you give him the right pieces and the offensive line, you give him a good supporting cast. And I think Tua is more than capable of bringing you to the playoffs and getting a win or two in the playoffs. But I don't know. I got to see him bounce back now. I had to see Tua bounce back now because that was rough. And we don't even know if the Colts defense is legit yet. It looked legit in week one. And, but once again, why do the Dolphins barely play Tyreek Hill? He was barely played in that game. Jalen Waddle, he got hurt. And there were a lot of injuries week one. But I think this was coming. I think a lot of people had the idea, kind of already knew that there's no direction in this locker room and that Mike McDaniel does not have a firm grasp on this team. There's no direction. There's not much going for them. And I think Mike McDaniels is the biggest problem. And I don't even think it's close. He's not a leader, shows up to the game in sweatpants. And I think Mike McDaniel is more of a friend to the players than a leader. And your job as a head coach is to be the leader. And I don't think Mike McDaniel has what it takes to be the leader of a football team. Don't see it. And I'm gonna go icy. This is pretty much like almost a given, in my opinion. I was saying before the season started, he would probably be gone before the bye week. Now, he may be gone after week 4. Let's look at the games that he's got to go through. I mean, you got the Patriots this upcoming week. If you cannot beat the Patriots, and he looks similar to the way he did versus the Colts when the Patriots just had a rough game versus the Raiders, he may be gone after week 2. I do think the Dolphins are going to put up a fight in week 2 against the Patriots, but I don't know if they win. And you have the Bills. That's you just see what Josh Allen did to the Ravens. Yeah, keep it at that. The Jets are looking pretty good. The Panthers, by week 5, I think the Panthers are going to have some momentum. That's going to be a tough game. I say Mike McDaniel doesn't make it past week 6. He might not make it past week 5. No, he might not make it past week 5. So Mike McDaniel is going to be the first head coach fired. Wouldn't shock me one bit. Thank you, head of the table, for the take. All right. LCCJS 14. A lot of Colts takes. We have a lot of Colts fans in the Discord, so that's where you're gonna get. That's okay. I like talking about the Colts. I'll take every excuse I can get to talk about the Colts. But out of Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Tyler Warren, LCCJS says that 2 of them will finish with 1,000 plus receiving yards. I think this is possible, but I think that statement also works against you in the same way. Because, if it was 2 really impressive guys like a Jamar Chase or T. Higgins duo or A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, if you had 2 receivers, if you had a receiver duo like that, just those 2 guys, I mean, the Bengals and those teams have more, but those are those are really the focus points, kind of. But I think 2 of these guys finishing with 1,000 plus receiving yards is going to be tough. I think 1, absolutely. And I think 2, there's still a really good chance that happens. Will it? I think there's a higher chance of it being Pierce is definitely going to be one of them. Pierce definitely has to be one of them. It's got to be Pierce and Downs and Pittman. I mean, any way this could go. Even Tyler Warren can get 1,000 yards. If he continues to play the way he does the rest of the year, he did in week 1, it wouldn't shock me if he gets 1,000 at all. So it's just there's too much volume. And then it comes to the same situation as it did for A.J. Brown. There are too many mouths to feed. You have A.D. Mitchell as well, who you want to get more time in there, as we had Red talking about, because we know that A.D. Mitchell is capable. He has a really high ceiling himself. We want him to get time. You have Jonathan Taylor, DJ Giddens, and you know that Daniel Jones likes to spread the football around. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see two receivers having 1,000 plus. I could see one having 11 or 1,200, and then one just being below like 900 or 950. I could see actually 3 receivers getting like 900 plus. I know that sounds like off, like I'm saying like this is hot or like a warm take for 1,000 plus, but for like 850, 900 plus receiving yards, I could see almost every one of these guys getting that much. Potentially. They all have the talent to do that. It's just how much the ball is going to be spread around, who's going to have more hot streak, more big games, who's going to, in terms of running backs, the Colts want to run the football and just pound the football. So that's another tough one in the making there. That takes a lot of touches away from these receivers and Tyler Warren. So I'm going to go hot. Because I think it's a bit unlikely that you get 2, but it's not that's not a slight to their talent. It's a slight to just how many players and how Shane Steichen and this offense is built. It's just how it is. All right, I believe this is last but not least. Tone says that the entire AFC West makes the playoffs except for the Chiefs. Oh, that's right. I am missing one here. It's piping hot. We have icy, cold, cool, warm, hot. Yes, I don't have piping hot. Whatever. Close enough. I don't see the Chiefs missing the playoffs. I'm going to call piping hot right there. I think this is going to be a down year. And I can see the Chiefs finishing 3rd in their division. I can't see them finishing below the Raiders. I could see them potentially finishing below the... I think it's almost to the point where the Chargers should be the favorite right now to win that division. The Chiefs should be 2nd. And the Broncos should probably be 3rd. What I saw from the Broncos week 1 is not what I expect for the rest of the season, but that's what I got to take off right now. That's what's sticking in my head right now is that week 1 game against the Broncos. Or no, that week 1 game in general for the Broncos was just really bad. That offense was, the defense was as good as we thought it would be, but offensive-wise, it was such a mess. They were so discombobulated. It's like, what's going on? Why is the Bo Nix from Auburn showing up now in Denver? That's what he reminded me of, and I need Bo Nix We need Bo Nix to take care of the football. Make the big plays he was making last year, but take care of the football. Don't be too aggressive because, too much of that confidence is not good. You want a lot of confidence, but you don't want too much to the point where you're thinking you can make some throws, but you just can't get it there. You know what I mean? I'm going to go piping hot on this one. Like I said, I think the Chargers win the division. I could see the Chiefs or Broncos being 2, and then the other team, whether it's the Chiefs or Broncos, being 3. That's what I got. That's how I think the cookie's going to crumble in that West. I don't think the Raiders make the playoffs. I don't know if they sniff 500. I'm not big on the Raiders, but I wasn't coming into the season. But week 1, I really liked what I saw in week 1. I would like to see them run the football a lot better, but I really like the confidence and the game plan and what we saw from Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. I really liked what we saw there. I love Brock Bowers, love Genty. I still think the Raiders' defense is going to be tough this year, but they did an all right job against the Patriots. Drake May did throw for a lot of yards, but Drake May did also miss a lot of throws. But I'm telling you, I don't think the Raiders sniff 500. I don't think they get close. I could see the Raiders starting the season off strong. Let's look at the schedule real quick. I want to look at the Raiders schedule really fast. The Raiders schedule. Okay, you played the Patriots. Oh. It's tough. It's a tough schedule to begin, actually. You got the Chargers next week. I don't see them beating the Chargers. You got the Commanders. I don't see them beating the Commanders. You got the Bears. How will Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, will they have the offense going by now? I'm not a big Caleb Williams guy, but I don't know if Ben Johnson could be a good head coach. I don't know if he could really be as good a head coach as he is as an offensive coordinator. We'll see. Give him time. It's only week 1. Really disappointed with what happened that game. How do you blow a 10-point lead in which you were pretty much dominating the opposition? Very disappointing. Then you have the Raiders, and then you have them playing the Colts. If the Colts look like if the Colts look like they did going into this game as they did in week 1, if the Raiders can't run the football, if they can't get the run defense going, if they can't continue to have a strong run defense, I think they struggle against the Colts because the Colts are so good in the trenches, and the Raiders not so much. It's kind of the opposite. Well, the Raiders are explosive. You do have to be careful. They are a bit explosive. Titans, good defense, and then you have. I don't know. I don't even see them starting out too strong because, and they don't even have that many easy games on their schedule. The Raiders have a hard schedule, man. They have a tough schedule. It was big for them to get that win in week 1. They have the Chargers twice, the Chiefs twice, the Broncos twice, the Commanders. We'll see what the Colts continue to do. The Jaguars had a really good week 1. They showed a lot. You have the Cowboys, Eagles, Texans. Your next easiest game is probably the Bears. And then maybe the Titans. And then you play the Giants and the Browns. Those are probably the easiest games that they have. It's a tough go. It's a tough schedule. So I don't see the Raiders. Raiders aren't battle tested. They're not really that team that's going to stick in and really beat a lot of those good teams. They're not ready. So, yeah, there we go. And I believe that was our last hot take. Yep, because we're back at SilverSabs. So, all right, fellas. Thank you for tuning in for the first episode of Season 4 for Hot Take Tuesday. I'm super excited to be back. Season 3 is kind of a wash at this point. We started off, just didn't continue it. Had a couple of things go on last year, and I just, but we're back. We're back. We're full go, and we're not looking back. We're getting ready to propel ourselves into some serious success here with this channel, with this network. We've already started. Very strong weekend. Close to 10,000 views across all social media platforms over the weekend. So hopefully we can eclipse a lot more than that as the season goes on, and I think we will. Going to be going live for more game reactions. The Colts most definitely. Maybe all day Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. I want to do it all. But Thursday nights, actually, Monday nights and Thursday nights may be tough because I am going to be starting to work on those nights as well at my other place. So we'll see. We'll see what the season brings. I appreciate you guys stopping by. This is Jason and another segment of Hot Take Tuesday. Hot Take Tuesday. I forgot to do that. I forgot my own little catchphrase there. I'll catch you guys later. If you enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, put that post notification bell on, share it to all your friends and family, everyone who likes football. I'll catch you next time.